Hi, everyone. Welcome to the All Things Amyloid podcast, where we feature patients, caregivers, and clinicians who discuss amyloidosis, a rare and incurable disease. Amyloidosis occurs when the body builds up abnormal amounts of misfolded amyloid protein, which can lead to serious and life threatening outcomes. I'm your host, Mackenzie, an amyloidosis patient and founder of Mackenzie's Mission. Our goal for this podcast is to raise awareness and share firsthand what it's like to live with this disease, to care for those affected by it, and to treat it. We hope this leads to earlier diagnosis and start of treatment, which will improve patient lives. In today's episode, we'll be talking about medical education. Lack of awareness, a gap in medical education, is among the most critical and urgent challenges facing the amyloidosis community today. Raising awareness to accelerate diagnosis, coupled with FDA approved treatments, leads to a significant improvement in patient lives. In this episode, you'll hear from medical educators, amyloidosis experts, and patients about how the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau brings the patient voice to medical education and complements the traditional didactic and clinical studies. During the episode, we'll hear from Dr. Vaishali Sanchorawala, the director of Boston University's Amyloidosis Center, and Dr. Ray Comenzo, director of the John C. Davis Myeloma and Amyloid Program at Tufts Medical Center, who will share their views as clinicians on the importance for residents, fellows, and trainees to understand the patient perspective. We'll also hear from Dr. Gordon Huggins, cardiovascular course director at Tufts University School of Medicine, who shares his thoughts on the transformative impact on students after hearing from patient educators. In addition, two of our patient educators, Sean and Linda, will talk about how sharing their journey with amyloidosis humanizes this complex disease. Throughout, you'll hear from me about the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau, why it was created, and the evidence received validating the impact of the patient voice and how it strengthens traditional medical education. Hi, my name is Mackenzie Bodeker. I am the founder and president of Mackenzie's Mission, as well as the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau, and in addition, I am also a patient with amyloidosis. We founded the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau in order to take on the challenge of bridging the educational gap that exists between the clinical education of doctors and the lack of patient perspective. And we do that through the use of a wonderful group of patient educators in hopes of leaving a more durable, lasting impression about amyloidosis so that when the dots don't seem to connect in the clinic, that doctors think about amyloidosis.
I'm Vaishali Sanchorawala, professor of medicine and director of the Amyloidosis Center at Boston University and Boston Medical Center. Amyloidosis is a systemic protein misfolding disease which is quite rare. However, it is considered rare because of the number of patients, but maybe it is not as rare as one thinks because the diagnosis is delayed, misdiagnosed, and also underdiagnosed. So what are the implications of delay in diagnosis? Very simple. Organ dysfunction, irreversible organ failure, and death.
My name is Sean Riley. I'm a hereditary amyloidosis patient. Why do I belong to the Speakers Bureau? Why is it important to me? If I had been diagnosed early on, even back when I had carpal tunnel, they would have been able to treat it then, and I wouldn't have the other ailments to contend with.
I'm Dr. Gordon Huggins. I direct the cardiovascular pathophysiology course here at Tufts University School of Medicine. I'm also a general cardiologist here at Tufts Medical Center. To me, the patient educator provides a unique educational experience for our students that has transformative effects on each of the students because they really get to hear about the disease from the patient themselves. They have a window into the experiences of what it means to care for somebody who has a medically complex problem and provide a lasting educational experience that then translates into their being a better doctor.
So people ask me why I'm involved with the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau. I really needed to have purpose in life because so much is taken from you when you have a disease like this. Patient educator gives the medical community an opportunity to see and to hear firsthand what it is like to have this disease, what it is like to go through sometimes years and many different doctors to get to a diagnosis, what it is like to be treated, and how hard it is sometimes, to stay hopeful and optimistic. And I think it's very important for people being educated in the medical field to have that opportunity to meet sort of face to face with the person who has the disease, because nobody knows more about amyloidosis than the person with amyloidosis.
It presents things that you can't read about in a textbook or see on a PowerPoint. It presents the human side of things.
Historically, amyloidosis is not taught in medical schools, not mentioned in residence curriculum. Historically, residents and fellows in training do not get to see patients with amyloidosis. When ASB provides patient educators as speakers in the training, it complements the medical education. Patient educators are extremely powerful and impactful because of their own voice with the patient journey and treatment outcomes. They have compelling insights into this disease, and therefore the training physicians retain as well as keep amyloidosis in their differential diagnosis when they see a patient with multi-system disease involvement.
My name is Ray Comenzo. I'm a physician and a hematologist. I work at Tufts Medical Center in Boston. I encourage the residency program directors, the coordinators of medical education, to give a good hard look at the advantages of having patient educators in the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau get involved in their training programs and the medical education curriculum on a regular basis, year in and year out.
The testimonials on our efforts have been overwhelmingly positive, but it was important for us to determine, is what we're doing making a difference scientifically? Are we leaving a durable impression? We collected the data, we analyzed the statistics, and it showed an overwhelmingly positive response, telling us that the ASB is making a difference.
I now would like to talk to all of the other course directors around the country, as well as residency program leaders, about why I feel the Amyloidosis Speakers Bureau provides such value from an educational experience. There's no doubt that the clinical content and pathophysiology and pathology content are paramount. However, the addition of patient educator and the patient voice, and in particular the authenticity and real life experience that the patient educator provides, takes all of that clinical content that has been provided and puts it into context for the student and really helps the student to move forward and be an efficient and excellent doctor.
So this is a call to action. I strongly believe in ASB because I cannot give didactic talk to the trainees, medical students, residents, and fellows with the same impact that a patient educator can have. The results and progress in the therapeutic landscape of systemic amyloidosis are unbelievable, unprecedented, and unheard of for this uniformly fatal disease of the 1990s, but they are not enough, and therefore we need to work together to make a difference.
I'll leave you with one final thought. Today, we have the treatments to change and to save patient lives. The only thing we're missing is the education, the awareness surrounding amyloidosis. So I ask you to consider incorporating patient educators into your medical education so that we can put these treatments to good use. Having a patient come and speak to your doctors, having a patient come and speak to your students can save lives. It's that simple. We hope today's episode provides compelling evidence about the power of the patient voice in medical education, how it narrows the education gap and results in a more robust and durable education for medical trainees, thereby accelerating diagnosis and improving patient lives. The urgency to elevate medical education, help raise awareness, and ultimately improve patient lives is now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you'd like to watch the video, please visit Mackenzie's Mission Education Hub at mm713.org. Thank you for listening to the All Things Amyloid podcast. If you find our podcast informative, please follow and share it with others. If you want to learn more about the work we're doing at Mackenzie's Mission, please visit mm713.org. We'd also like to thank AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals, Alexion Pharmaceuticals, Alnylam Pharmaceuticals, and Bridge Biopharma for their sponsorship to help raise awareness about amyloidosis. We hope you stay tuned for future episode drops. Thanks for listening.